All right, here we are. Beyond the Curve MX podcast, Kids Gone Wild. It's our new spin-off edition with me and the kids. This is Bowynn and Oakley. 827 Riders, my kids. We wanted to do a little spin-off show of Beyond the Curve MX podcast, so here we go. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I was on the 66th one. Or is it 65?
Yeah, Oakley was on episode, I believe, 66 of Beyond the Curve MX podcast. It seemed to be quite a hit having him on there, so we decided to do our own little spin-off show and see how that goes. But so that's Oakley, my oldest, Bowynn, both racers. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But let's get right into this thing, boys. What do you think?
Chase was being an idiot.
Yeah, so we'll dive into our SMX recap. We had our last 3 rounds of the Pro Series. I guess that you guys want to dig in a little bit on your thoughts on the season. So, Deegan and Jet take it again. Second year in a row for our second year of SMX finales. What do you think about that, Oakley?
Sick of Jet.
Sick of Jet.
I'm sick of him.
Why?
He wins too much.
He's good. I mean,
I don't care.
he's got good talent. So, when you come up with generational talent like that, you're gonna win. There's not a lot of guys to give him competition right now.
Well, Chase, if he would actually use his brain for once in these last races, he probably could win one.
Maybe.
Last year, he tried to overshoot that thing in Los Angeles, the sand. He tried to overshoot it to get a farther lead and wrecked himself.
Yeah, Chase has a lot of unfortunate mishaps in his riding.
He stays healthy the whole race, the whole year, and then that one last race, he always messes himself up.
Well, this one wasn't his fault, but we'll get into that. What do you think about Eli's return?
I'm waiting for him to talk. It's his turn.
What do you think?
Good.
Good? You like how Eli was riding?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I feel like if Jet and Hunter didn't move to 450s this season, I feel like Eli might have been able to win SMX, but also if Chase didn't hurt himself, he also could have had a shot.
They all had a shot. Eli was down a little bit too much to actually win coming into the last round, but it wasn't out of the question. There was always a possibility that anything could have happened. It's racing, you guys know that. But I think Eli rode fantastic for coming back from his injury, and he left with a pile of money too, and took third in the championship. So, well, let's talk about Sexton's injury. I know you are not very happy about it, but it was a racing incident, as far as I'm concerned. And I do think it was Chase's fault because you should never cross lines on a start like that, especially at that caliber of racing. He clearly wasn't thinking straight.
One thing he should have did, what Barsha did, was clear that table instead of overshoot it to the next single, and then he should have hit the table, then doubled that into the inside, and he might have not got hit there, but
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like I said, it's a racing incident. Anything can happen. Years ago, Trey Kennard got landed on, and it could have been a lot worse because Trey broke his neck, where Chase, from what we hear, just broke his hand. So it could have been a lot worse than what it was. We thought he was going to come out for the second moto, and he didn't. But that's when we found out he had a broken hand. And there was a lot of talk the week before that he was having a lot of problems on the bikes. So
speaking of that, I think it was last year, maybe, Sexton landed on Cooper Webb and hurt both of them terribly. It might have been 2022, I can't remember.
yeah, I can't remember what race that was. It wasn't last year, I don't think.
I don't think it was either. I think that was that year that Eli was dominating in 2022. It might have been, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Yeah, it was 22 because 23 because that was last year. This year, Eli wasn't there
Yeah.
for Supercross, right?
No. Eli was here for Supercross.
For all of it? I don't remember. I thought he was hurt
No.
for. Yeah,
He didn't do the last round because he hurt his thumb.
That's right.
He hurt his thumb in his heat race.
It's been a long season.
Or it might have been qualifying. He fell over and his thumb
Yeah, but we're here to talk about SMX. So it's been a long season, and it finally comes to a wrap at this point. But Sexton gets hurt. Eli makes his return, and he was doing old Eli things. Turned beast mode back on.
Definitely.
And what do you think about Deegan starting to look? I think Deegan looks a little bit like Eli. Deegan's got that. No matter what his attitude's like, all in all, Deegan's a really good rider.
Ty, speaking of the second moto, I can't believe he put on a show. That second moto, he got the star and put on a show.
Yeah, Ty Maspel was running extremely well in Vegas. That's what Ty always has issues with Supercross, so it's really cool to see him come out and hit some turns like he was. I mean, there was nobody cornering like Ty Masterpool was in Vegas.
If he got a lead and Deegan was at least like 10, 15 seconds behind him, I think Ty could have won it.
That's possible.
But speaking of Pierce Brown, give him one good start. I feel like he could beat Hayden with what he put on
In the final round?
Yeah.
Pierce Brown's always been a good rider. He could just never keep his bike on two wheels. He's struggled for years with that.
Texas, he went down on the start, first corner, both times.
And he had a rough Supercross season. I mean, he was there. I mean, you guys got to be at Supercross for pretty much the first time that you actually remember.
No, last year I remember we went to one.
We went to Nashville. Last year we were at Nashville.
We did? Nashville last year?
Oh, that was this year, but we didn't. You guys didn't go to a Supercross last year.
I feel like we did.
No, there was when you guys were younger. We went to when Supercross hit Orlando, and during COVID, you guys got to go for that. It was really cold.
I was thinking that it was when Eli was champ, because I feel like it was when Eli was on Yamaha.
Oh, I think it was 2021 when you guys got to go the last time, and then you got to go this year to Nashville. But
he might have rode Yamaha that race, or it was somebody else that I thought was Eli.
Yeah, you weren't near as into the sport as you are now, but you guys got to. When we went to Orlando, I know Bowynn, you probably don't remember going to Orlando, but you were pretty young. It was cold. It was cool. That race was cool because we got to meet Trey Kennard and his wife Hannah, and we ended up exchanging numbers with them and getting to know them a little bit better.
Speaking of that, didn't Trey send you a video or something when you had
on
your
our wedding day. Yep. Yeah. But so let's stay on that subject a little bit. So you guys got to experience Orlando. You kind of remember it. You don't, but what was the experience like being at Orlando then, but getting to go to Nashville this year? Because you guys got to go in a whole different atmosphere this year because you were part of the show.
Same weather. It was freezing.
It's a lot colder in Orlando that year than.
Well, it was freezing at Nashville though.
Yeah, it got cold at night.
That during the day, press day on Friday, they didn't run.
They didn't run press day because of all the rain up there.
Well, they did like talk and stuff, but they didn't.
They didn't ride.
Yeah.
So no free practice, nothing like that. But what was it like being? Because they didn't have a pit party, and during COVID, a lot of the tracks didn't do Fan Fest. You guys got to go to Nashville this year, but we were part of the show. We were there with a rider. So you got to experience what it's like to be part of the show. What was that like for you?
Honestly, I don't know how to explain it. Really.
It was fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to experience it in a way that most kids only dream about experiencing it. And you got to meet all the riders ahead of time, and Mom and I were kind of there on business in a way, but you, we still made it a point to go around and talk to your favorite riders when we could, and it was nice because there was no press day riding or anything like
I
that.
got a whole side number plate from a rider.
Yep. Who'd you get it from? Slade Varola, HBI, our local team. Give a shout out to them because Matt Bell, the owner, and the whole HBI crew is awesome. Oakley's a big fan of Slade, one of their riders. He's been on our podcast, the Beyond the Curve podcast, and if you ever get the chance to listen to that, I don't remember the episode, but I will tag it in this description. But Slade's an awesome kid.
It might have been 12, I think.
We'll have to look it up. We'll make sure that we put it in the description of this video. But what was Nashville like for you, Bowynn? Talking to the mic.
Good. I got to see Chase Sexton and get a picture.
Who else did we see? I think we met
Cody
Shaw, Dean Wilson, AP.
I wish we could meet Eli, but I think he was in the truck.
You guys got to talk to Cameron McAdoo for a little bit.
Yeah. Ken Roxon.
You don't even remember. We hung out with the HBI crew most of the day. We were with our rider, Rylan Munson.
I swear we met somebody else.
You guys met all kinds of people there.
Cody Shaw,
you guys got to meet
AP Chase,
Justin Starling, Logan Carnow.
Yeah.
Logan was pitted right in front of us. Justin was pitted right in front of us. All of them. I mean, you got to experience the race as a whole. As a pretty much riders family. You got to see all the little KTM junior kids, which we're hoping to get Bowynn into this coming year. And
I'm kind of mad because I could have raced it.
Yeah, you're aged out.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see if Bowynn gets a chance, and then you guys will get to be a part of the KTM team for a day. And
I would have sent it way too hard.
Yeah, maybe. So back to the racing. You guys got to experience the races for yourself, so you understand what it's like and what these guys have to do every weekend, all the time. It's a job for them. But what do you think about Hunter's ride in SMX? Hunter was doing pretty well this year. He had his struggles, but he come out to SMX and he was right there.
I'd rather have Hunter win it than Jet, so we could see like a different person win it instead of the same people just win it over again.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see some new winners, but what do you think, Bowynn?
I wanted Eli to win the championship for his last year riding.
He still has one more year. He's coming back next year, so we have Tomac for one more full year for the 2025 season. It would have been cool to see. I would have loved to see Eli win it. That would have been awesome for a cool comeback story. But I think Eli's going to give Jet a run for his money next year. It's gonna. I mean, there's going to be I think it's going to be a battle. There's a lot of guys moving around now. Contracts are being signed, and guys are moving to different teams. So we know Eli's on Star Yamaha still.
Isn't Ken Roxon so sick of that Suzuki not having an electric start?
They got him electric start now, so they're doing some testing, and I'd love to see what comes out of that this year. But I think he'll be on electric start for Supercross for sure.
If they didn't, he probably would have moved to a different bike, like Honda or something again.
I don't know if he would or not because Ken's a big fan of that Yamaha or the Suzuki, sorry. And he's back in 2012 he was on that team and he loved that bike. So I think it'll stay with him. But is there any other thoughts on SMX? What do you think?
I don't know.
All in all, was it a pretty good show this year? I think SMX was a lot better this year than it was last year.
Yeah. Because last year, it was just, boring,
It was something new, so nobody knew what to think, and it's nice to get some Supercross racing in at the end of the year. The stadium races under the lights. And
didn't everybody last year hate Charlotte because it was like just straight?
They had a lot of complaints about the ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte, yeah. But this year it seemed like
the start was just straight grass, and they had to like dig ruts to
yeah.
make
But this year they did a really good job on the track.
Yeah.
We really liked it.
I couldn't even toes last year.
Yeah, a lot of people were complaining about the cement walls and possibly hitting them, which RJ Hampshire decided to do. But
what was it? He overshot one of the jumps. Still went for the triple.
Yeah,
sent him sideways.
In the middle of a battle. I mean, it's racing. I mean, that's a risk that these guys take, and RJ's pretty good at taking those risks and usually ending up on the ground. But you guys actually got to meet RJ a couple weeks ago.
What injury did he come from? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. There's been so many injuries this year I couldn't even keep track.
It wasn't a thumb like Jet and Eli.
Jet, Eli, and Cooper Webb all had the thumb.
Oh, yeah, right.
And all had the surgery for it.
And then hurt himself at Unadilla again.
Well, how do you think Cooper Webb did in SMX? Speaking of him,
what did he get?
I mean, the last race he ended up 5th. He left what did he leave points in? He got 5th in points too.
What Chase get in points? 7th.
Chase ended up 7th. How much money do you think Chase ended up earning at SMX?
$20.
No, $195,000.
That's not what I expected.
No, SMX is big money. Jet left with $1.225 million.
Well,
that's the name of the game, buddy.
If you want to meet a millionaire, just try and get to one of the races and meet Jet.
Yeah.
Boom.
Jet's made a lot of money in the last few years. But you guys don't care much about business, so we'll stick to the racing. So is there any other thoughts on SMX? What about you, Bowynn? Any other thoughts? What'd you like about it?
I don't know.
You just like Supercross. That's about all it breaks down to for you is Supercross.
All he cares about is playing. He don't even watch the races.
Supercross in and out. He likes Supercross, but all right. So
yeah, he watches it every 10 weeks. No, wait.
He always watches Supercross. He's not a motocross fan. He's a motocross racer, but not a big fan of the outdoor series. But so with this podcast, where we want to go with it, I got 2 kids that have a love for the sport. Bowen's more of a racer than he is a watcher. Oakley's more of a watcher in the sport.
I'm both.
Pretty much I'm getting there. Seems to know a whole lot about the sport. Knows a lot of statistics, numbers, all of that stuff. So this has been a big thing for Oakley to kind of do our own spin-off on the podcast and be a part of this. So I don't think we're going to do this every week, but maybe every other week or maybe once a month or something. I think we're going to do a spin-off episode like this of Beyond the Curve MX podcast with.
I'm starting to get cooked.
Yeah, it gets a little warm in here. Our fan quit. But every other week we're gonna, or like I said, every other week or once a month we're gonna do a little episode like this and talk about the racing and talk about our racing and anything else motocross that we can talk about. So we already kind of did a little pre-run of this. I never actually aired it. I did think we did a couple TikToks on it, but we'll play a little game again. This is gonna be one game. I'll name the numbers. You name the riders. I kept them pretty easy.
Way too easy for me, at least.
It's probably gonna be too easy for you.
I've been watching the 2016, 2017, 15, 14 Monster Energy Cups, so this might be easy.
I'm not gonna go too far back. We're gonna we're gonna talk about. We'll do this little game here, and then we'll talk about our racing, and we'll end it at that for our first little episode here. But all right, I'll name the numbers. Bowynn, you want in on this?
He's gonna say no.
So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Bowynn, I'll give you the first one. 3.
Eli.
All right. So,
Let me flip
see,
this over.
you're ready to rock and roll. All right, 18.
Jet.
See, I thought you didn't want nothing to do with this. 21.
Jason Anderson.
11.
Kyle Chisholm.
96.
Hunter Lawrence.
30.
Joe Shimoda.
69.
Cody Shop.
4.
Chase.
4 before. Who was 4 before?
Ricky Carter.
Oh.
No, Blake Baggett.
No, there was Blake Baggett too. And who was before Blake Baggett?
Ricky Carter.
Attaboy, see? See, you got something. How about 2 before Cooper Webb?
Wait, give me a sec. This one's hard. Jeremy McGrath.
After Jeremy McGrath.
Oh no!
So you're not wrong. After Jeremy McGrath.
Who is it?
Ryan Villapoto.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I knew
Yeah,
that.
you missed that one. So I'd say you're pretty well up on your numbers.
If you gave me a hint, I would have got it. You said he was on Kawasaki or something.
No.
I probably would have got it.
Nope, that's too easy. So we have Dade City coming up tomorrow, actually. We'll see if we can air this before Dade City. I think it's round 17. Still racing after the hurricane we just had down here. Track might be a little bit soupy, but what do you think, Bo? How do you think tomorrow's race is going to go? You excited?
They better keep it soupy.
I don't think. I think it's going to end up baking throughout the day, and once everybody gets on the track, they'll probably break it all in for MX school, and then it'll probably be a pretty decent track by tomorrow night.
I might ride MX school if we can get there in time, like with all the big guys.
I don't think we'll make it there tomorrow for MX school, but
When is
Dade
it?
City does an MX school in the morning, and then racing at night. It's pretty cool. You guys like racing under the lights?
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite when the.
But one
when-
thing about it is like my goggles, when it like sees the lights, kind of like they fog out just at the lights, not anywhere else, just at the lights.
Yeah, the new LED lights they got there are really bright.
So that just that one area fogs it out.
Yeah, that's just
It's not like foggy, but it makes it like shine brighter in your eye.
kind of scratched up just a little bit. I mean, you guys are hard on goggles, so. What classes do you run, Bowynn?
P-Dub in e-bike.
What do you run?
65, 9 to 5 beginner.
Yep.
5 to 9 beginner.
So, how do you think tomorrow's gonna go? You guys haven't raced in a couple weeks. We were gonna race Gold Cup last week, but we ended up going out for little brother's birthday instead, and went to Peppa Pig Land. And it's been a couple weeks since you, besides doing a little bit of training at the house here.
Honestly, the only time I've rode since last race, not the Gold Cup, was today.
Today, yep. You didn't race the Gold Cup.
Because the only reason is because you had to keep the bikes clean and put the graphics on. If I got it dirty, it had
Yeah,
to
we finally got graphics on. Our Step Up MX, our sponsor. Shout out to them. Awesome graphics.
right there, stickers.
Yeah, our custom kit came out pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We got kit for you, you guys, Caleb, our other rider.
I
And
expected it to look more like mine more. Bowynn, move. I expected it more to look like a Yamaha than a Husky, but it turned out like a Husky.
no, they did a really good job. They did a really good job on the graphics and making it Husky-like. And you like your graphics, Bowynn?
Yeah.
Yeah, our team graphics are a color coordinated camo for all the bike brands. We have a whole bunch of different bike brands. Our house runs all the Austrian bikes, Gas, KTM, Husky. But Caleb rides a Yamaha, so we had to color coordinate everything. It was a little challenging.
Can I go get the CAT?
No.
Dang it.
So as for tomorrow's racing,
I want more numbers.
more numbers for the game.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see if we can do that later. Then maybe the next episode I'll throw some retro numbers in there.
Yeah. Okay, I better be watching.
See if you can do your homework.
What do you mean?
You do your homework and watch all the races that you watch, and maybe I'll throw some retro numbers in there and
see if 1989.
See if you can catch some stuff. I'm not going to go that far back, but we'll see. So, well, this has been episode 1 of Beyond the Curve MX Podcast, Kids Going Wild. You guys haven't been too wild, but what do you want to say?
I've actually raced Supercross before.
Yeah, you raced Supercross at Minios. Yeah, that's we got Minios coming up. I don't know if we're gonna hit it or not, but
I'm scared.
It's
that track is rough.
Gatorback's a wild track.
Diamondback, I'm not so scared about.
Diamondback's pretty flat.
Caleb wrecked there once hard because he went over the finish. Then there was like massive braking bumps, and Danny like flipped.
That was Aiden Shive.
That was Aiden Shive?
Yeah.
Went over the bars?
Gold Cup last year. Yep, went over the bars and broke his collarbone.
Didn't Caleb like hit braking bumps, then go around that outside? Or that might have been Dade. He hit a jump, then went around the outside, and then like he was up like this with his body off the bike and fell or something.
He did that. He had an episode like that at Etchicani.
Oh.
At the regional.
That's the race I went to. I'm on Zach's channel on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, it's a pretty common occurrence for somebody to wreck like that. So
C-Class Cowboys.
Yeah.
That.
Giving C-Class Cowboys a plug.
I've been on their channel a few times.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just go up and talk with Zach, see what motors he is and stuff to watch him and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, C-Class Cowboys. Some friends of ours from Dade City. They got an awesome channel. We'll give them a plug and check that out. But so we got racing tomorrow. Then we're off for another week. You guys been off for 2 days from hurricane prep and hurricane days from school. So we'll
nice, because I'm tired of school.
Yeah, we'll get into racing here this weekend again, and we got some graphics. We'll probably have some cool pictures this weekend. Now that we finally got graphics on the bikes, we can get pictures again, and we'll see how this weekend goes. But like I said, this has been episode 1 from Beyond the Curve MX Podcast, Kids Going Wild. We will catch you guys on the next one. I don't know if it's going to be every other week or once a month or whenever we decide to do it. But maybe we'll jump on here and talk about the Dade racing.
One thing before we end it. Round 1 with Juju. Same thing as Hayden. Mom was tired of him, was going to take his car away. Juju, his mom was tired of him being on his phone, tried to take his phone away if he didn't get top 3 or something in Charlotte. Charlotte.
Yeah, parents are tough, aren't they?
He proved that he can keep his phone.
Maybe I'm going to have to do that. Top 3s tomorrow or no electronics. Yeah. You're capable of it.
One kid is still as fast as Declan in my class.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So,
And I never can get to start. If I can get one decent start, I think I can pull off a good overall. But usually I come from behind like a Supercross. Jet didn't have a start styled, and he moved up from the pack.
Yeah.
Like that's what I have to do, or else my night's over. And
we'll get them starts dialed in.
Last time I raced, the EMTs just sat there on their phones, and I couldn't rate. Like I hit somebody's bike and wrecked.
Well, you got to be able to get your bike up and go on your own. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. We'll try to do an episode next week and cover the racing from this weekend. And
I think the foot pegs were latched up. Like my bike, like I was pushing it off, it would not move.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. So like I said, this has been episode 1. We'll come at you next week with episode 2 from this weekend's racing, and we'll see how it goes. So everybody, bye.
Bye. See ya.
See ya.
Woo.